Ever notice how, when you see those celebrity chef shows,
Mm,
they always seem to have this like glow about them, this like
yeah.
aura of like wellness, you'd
Yeah.
think, with all the pressure and the late nights and
Yeah, all that rich food, right?
surrounded by food all the time.
Exactly.
You'd be the opposite.
Yeah, you'd think they'd be.
But so many of them seem to have this like really healthy vibe.
Yeah, they really do.
So today we're doing a deep dive on how chefs stay healthy
Okay,
amidst all that chaos of the kitchen.
I like it.
We're looking at this really interesting article from eastafricachef.com,
Okay,
which is a website that's all about professional kitchens.
gotcha.
So it's like really in the weeds in the best way
I
possible.
like it.
And
Yeah, and it's so true what you were saying about that
yeah,
healthy vibe.
yeah. Yeah.
Because the article actually makes this really cool connection between a chef's well-being and what they call culinary artistry.
Okay.
It's almost like when you as a chef are taking care of yourself,
Yeah.
you're actually improving your ability to create amazing food.
Okay, so it's like this deeper thing.
Totally.
It's not just like, oh, I need to be healthy so I can be able to run a marathon. It's like, no, this is actually feeding into
Yeah, it's like
the art form.
it's like mind, body,
Yeah,
food,
really.
like all connected.
I'm into it. Okay.
Yeah.
So the article talks about how the kitchen is demanding relentless,
Right.
but then also really rewarding.
Yeah, and that's the thing, right?
Yeah.
It's like finding that balance,
Yeah.
between dealing with the crazy pressures,
Yeah.
but also holding on to that passion that got you into the kitchen in the first place.
That makes a lot of sense. But what are some of the ways that just being in a kitchen
Yeah.
can really like take a toll on somebody's health?
Oh, man.
Aside from,
Yeah.
like sneaking bites.
Right. It's so much more than just like resisting that extra slice of cake, right?
Right.
Think about it. You're talking your regular hours.
Yeah.
You're on your feet all day long.
It's hot.
It's incredibly hot.
Yeah.
And the pressure is on to make those dishes perfect every single time.
Yeah, like you can't mess up an order
No.
like on those cooking shows.
No, it's got to be perfect
It's got to be perfect.
every time. And that does something to you.
Yeah.
That does something to your body and your mind.
Yeah. So speaking of stress and pressure, the article talks about mindfulness
Yep.
being a really important thing for chefs to practice.
Right.
I mean, like I try to meditate, like
Yeah.
here and there.
Yeah.
But how do you even do that in that kind of environment?
Well, it's about finding those little moments throughout the day,
Okay.
where you can just kind of like reset.
Okay.
So like some chefs use this thing called knife meditation.
Meditation.
Yeah. Where the focus that it takes to chop something perfectly
Wow.
becomes like its own form of mindfulness.
Okay.
Or even if you just step outside for like 5 minutes,
Right.
take a deep breath,
Yeah.
clear your head.
Yeah.
That can make a world of difference.
That's actually really clever, though.
Yeah.
To use like what you're already doing as that moment. That's really cool.
Yeah.
So the article also talks about something that I think is a really tough conversation to have, but an important one,
Sure.
which is the risk of depending on drugs or alcohol
Right.
to kind of get through.
Yeah. It's a real thing.
Yeah, and I think that's true of a lot of professions.
It is.
But why do you think that's particularly risky for people in the culinary world?
Well, you're already talking about these really long hours,
Yeah.
right?
Super stressful.
High stress environment. And then you add in this culture
Yeah.
of like you work hard, you play hard.
Right.
And a lot of times play involves,
Right.
alcohol is very accessible in that environment.
Yeah, and then it's almost like glorified, right?
Totally.
Like, oh, we worked a 14-hour shift. Let's like...
Exactly. It's like a badge of honor almost.
Right.
Which is dangerous.
Yeah.
It really is. So finding those healthy ways to cope with that stress
Right.
is so important.
Like exercise.
Exercise,
You said meditation.
meditation,
It's having a good support system.
support system's huge.
Yeah.
You got to have your people.
Yeah. So, I mean, there are resources out there for chefs
There are.
who are dealing with this, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, what are some of those?
So you have organizations like Chef's Table Foundation,
Okay.
and then there's one called Ben's Friends.
Okay.
And these groups offer things like support groups counseling.
Okay.
And it's specifically designed for chefs
On it.
to deal with the unique challenges that they face.
That makes a lot of sense because it's such a specific,
It is.
like, world, right?
Totally.
So it's nice that they have their own space to...
Their own community.
Yeah, their own community.
That gets it.
So it really all comes back to this idea
Yeah.
that the article talks about a lot, which is balance
Balance is key.
in every area,
Yeah.
like your diet, exercise.
Sleep.
It all matters.
So how do chefs balance that, though?
Right.
Because their schedules are crazy.
Well, you have to be really intentional about it.
Yeah. Like meal prepping or?
Meal prepping's huge, even though they're surrounded by these rich, amazing dishes all day.
Yeah.
Packing something as simple as a salad with some grilled fish or like a lentil soup.
Oh, that sounds good.
Right.
I need to up my lunch game, I think.
Right.
But it's true. It's like you can have those things,
You can't.
and it makes a big difference.
It does. And I think that's a good reminder for all of us, no matter what we do,
Right.
that like taking care of ourselves isn't selfish.
No.
It's actually so that we can be better at what we do.
Exactly. It's about showing up as your best self
Yeah,
in every part of your life.
totally. Okay, this deep dive, I'm really glad we did this
Yeah, me too.
because I feel like I learned a lot.
Good.
So for our listener out there
Yeah.
who, they're probably not making, whatever,
Right.
beef Wellington at 3 a.m,
Right.
what's like one thing that they can take away from all of this?
Honestly, just start small.
Okay.
Like today, just add an extra glass of water to your routine
Okay.
or go for a 15-minute walk
Yeah.
or just be a little more mindful
Yeah.
about the food choices that you're making.
Right.
It's those little things done consistently over time
Yeah.
that make a really big difference.
It's not about being perfect. It's about just
Starting.
taking that first step.
That's it.
I like that a lot.
Yeah.
So on that note, what if success in any field
Yeah.
is about taking care of the chef within all of us?
I love that.
Right.
That's really good.
All right. And on that note, we'll see you next time.
Sounds good.
Bye.